Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Tech News. My name is Alan Smithson. Today is Wednesday, May 29th. May 29th. Oh my goodness. The days are going by. It's almost June. There's a lot to cover today, so let's get into it. The first thing we have is just check this out. This is a new AI filter that can take anybody in the real world and apply this filter and make them look like they're made out of little pieces of glass, a little mirror. Oh, just very interesting. Until you realize that's actually a guy covered in mirrors. That's not, that's actually a real guy covered in mirrors. Had you? Technology is not the only thing. I thought that was really cool. Anyway, okay. So over to this here, we've got this new slime that is 10 times stronger. What they call it, strong water. And the idea behind this is that you add this gel additive to water, and then when firefighters spray a forest fire or a fire, it actually coats the subject. Here, let's just play.
What they'll do is the firemen will get close to the fire, and then they will mix this gel with water that they're bringing on their trucks, and then they use it to spray the houses.
So it's a protective shield for the houses, essentially, that are close to fire.
And vegetation.
And vegetation.
One of the things that I think people might not realize is when you just drop water over trees or bushes or whatever, it's mostly just going to drip down off the trees onto the ground.
Right.
Or the ambient heat of the fire as it approaches is going to evaporate it
Right.
off. But with this sort of gel additive, it clings to the surfaces and offers a lot more protection.
Anyway, very cool. I'll put the link to in the comments of the YouTube video for sure. Over to combating carbon footprint, novel reactor system converts carbon dioxide into usable fuel. I thought this was really, really interesting. I actually don't really understand the science behind this. I read it a couple times. I still don't get it. But basically, what they're saying is they're saying that boilers are generally quite efficient, and so they're using a boiler to reduce the impact of CO2 emissions. And if anybody's an expert in this, maybe they can reach out to me and explain it to me a little bit more, because I really, actually, this one went over my head. But there's a membrane, and it causes this reaction, and it literally causes energy to be released. And they're using literal carbon dioxide for energy. So we'll keep an eye on that. Over to more AI stuff. Elon Musk's X.AI or XAI just raised $6 billion to fund its race against ChatGPT and everybody else. And so their valuation was $18 billion. So in 1 year, they've now worth $18 billion. This is the power of having a lot of the NVIDIA chips. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about the picks and shovels. When there's gold, sell shovels, and NVIDIA is selling the shovels. And now XAI has a lot more money to buy a lot more shovels. In this case, supercomputer power, which is going to be needed for this. And I think regular power, just actual power, is going to be a thing as well. Okay, Chinese researchers discovered a mechanism to trigger plant regeneration. This is super cool because normally in the world of plants, they release a hormone, and we didn't know what that was until recently. So a team of researchers reported their discovery of regeneration factor 1, or REF1, is the primary wound signal that initiates plant regenerative responses. So until now, we didn't know this. I figured we'd figure this thing out by now. Like, plant biology's been around forever, and I guess we still haven't figured that out. So that's cool. Okay, rolling bridge. So in Switzerland, they have this bridge where they build it over top when they're doing. Let me just show you the video. So basically, they build a bridge when they're doing work underneath, so the workers can work underneath. The flow of traffic isn't impeded, and people can just drive over top of it. Check it out. Oops, why can't I go to full screen here? No, it won't let me. All right, let's try that again, and we'll just go like that. There we go. Check it out. So you get onto this bridge, and then underneath the bridge, you have workers actually working on the, maybe painting the lines or refinishing the road. But what a great idea, because underneath, you got this whole crew working on this underneath, and they're able to repave the surface here. Man, I live in Toronto, so there's 2 seasons, winter and construction. So, we need this in the Gardner. If anybody's watching from the city of Toronto, this is what we need. Okay, over to reaching absolute zero. So I don't know if you know about quantum computing, but in order to have a cohesion and to make sure that there's fewer errors, because there's a lot of errors in quantum computing, and you have to kind of do a lot of experiments based on the error, and then over time, over a number of different experiments, you come to a conclusion. But quantum computing needs really, really freezing cold temperatures, near zero temperatures, or absolute zero, and yeah, they've been able to find a more efficient way to do this. And the interesting thing is, absolute zero is known as the big chill, and when you get to the big chill, it's really expensive to do this. And so they found a way. Here it is. Here they claimed using their technology, they can save 27 million watts of power per year and reduce global energy consumption by about $30 million. That doesn't sound like a lot, but we only have a few quantum computers in the world right now. And I think as we really push the limits of quantum computing, being able to if you look at a quantum computer, the whole thing is a big refrigerator, and at the very, very bottom of this giant chandelier is the chip, and literally the rest of it is just to keep it cold. So that's a really good step in the right direction. Over to quantum internet, being able to communicate across large, vast places under cities with lots of distractions, lots of signals, lots of Wi-Fi, lots of just vibrations. Quantum doesn't do well when there's vibrations and things, but they've been able to run a test through Boston on regular lines that allowing them to have this communication real time using quantum computers. And I think, wow, if we can do this, we can probably communicate super fast with lots of bandwidth using quantum internet. And so I'll leave you with that. You can read all about it, and I'll put the links in the comments of the YouTube video. Over to, look at this thing. It's a giant airship, and it says many missions, one powerful aircraft. So they can go for long-term zero carbon aviation. It's really cool because, you can have either passengers or cargo. It's multivariable, and it stays up in the air. You can go in the air for 5 days and carry a 10-ton max payload and go for 4,000 nautical miles. This is just really cool. I mean, the Hindenburg and all that, we probably don't fill it with, with that anymore. But yeah, very cool. 75% reduction in CO2 with the hybrid electric configuration, 90% reduction, and all electric, 100%. Very, very cool new transportation. Giant balloons in the sky will be a thing. Okay. ITU Events is hosting the UN Virtual Worlds Day, harnessing metaverse to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. And some of the speakers include Doreen Bodkin-Martin, Celso Ono, Dimitri Merilison, and it looks like a lot of great speakers talking about using the virtual worlds, metaverse, XR to push the world forward and solve those UN sustainability goals. Okay, very neat stuff. Okay, Google has a competition every year called Google for Doodle, where people submit these Google Doodles, and a high school student won this year with their doodle here, and she's a 9th grader. She's I guess 15 years old, but she was one of 55 state and territory winners announced, and she said in Google's celebration of 25th anniversary, she said, "My wish for the next 25 years," and she submitted Small But Mighty, and on her thing says, "My wish for the next 25 years is for all of us to honor the smallest but mightiest of us all, the pollinators who through their small size truly help make the world brighter." And she ended up winning a $30,000 scholarship and $50,000 technology grant for her school. So that's super cool. Congratulations to Mahi Chandrasekhar and her artwork for Google Doodle. Okay, last thing on the list today is a super fun game. I am so excited about this because I love VR, and this just seems really fun. I know it seems so simple, but I can't wait to play this. It's literally balloon. You just keep the balloon.
Round 1. Your first of 3 balloons inflated near the ceiling. Use your hands and head to keep balloons from popping on the floor.
Right?
Balloon hits are 1 point. Knocking out a light is 5 points.
I think this is awesome. I can't wait to play balloon. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. This has been Daily Tech News for Wednesday, May 29th. I hope you have a wonderful day. Recording this from Austin. So if you're in Austin, hit me up and we'll go grab a coffee. Talk soon.